Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 63.
What's going on, Ken? Jimmy OSF Picker here with Ken SSKPromo. Go check out our YouTube channels.
Yes, Jimmy's new. Okay, yeah, I saw that when you popped on here. Well, I saw it on your new videos. OSF Picker, SSK Picker. No, OSF. You changed your name. You changed your channel name.
Yeah, I changed my YouTube channel name.
Why?
Because it's doing miserable.
It was before, or it is now.
Always, basically.
No, it's not.
All the time doing miserable.
You get decent views, and you have a good following
for sure. I have a good following, and I appreciate everybody to have decent views. But I've seen enough channels that are new that are doing amazing, and I've seen channels that are. So I went back. So let's if we're gonna go into this a little bit, I'll try to not make it boring, but we'll talk some YouTube stuff right here.
Okay.
I've been putting out videos for 4 years now. Yes. Miserably putting out videos for 4 years. Over 4 years. March of 2019. So that's over 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We don't do math, but I believe that is over 4 years now that I've been putting out videos. Now, I did take a pretty good sized break in there. So maybe a little bit less than 4 years of actually putting out videos, whatever. And I started off doing what solds, and I didn't enjoy it. I actually didn't enjoy that.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, a matter of fact,
you always looked like you were having fun. That's what attracted me first, to your channel
at first.
Yeah.
But now that I know, and I've edited a lot of videos, and I've made a lot of videos, and I've recorded a lot of videos, I now know I enjoy the process of recording picking videos. I enjoy editing them, and I enjoy watching them. I enjoy everything about at the yard sale picking. I absolutely despise and can't stand. Tonight we were recording a video for Old School Resale, which is my What Sold channel with Sonia now.
Okay.
And ask her how many times I said, I want to go back to the most miserable job I've ever had and apply rather than continue to record these videos. I'm sorry. I'm only doing it because of the interaction with people that watch it and enjoy them, but I hate it. I don't enjoy it at all. But I want to share that. I do want to share it, so that's why I make them.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
See that? No, I didn't want to interrupt, but I think that's one of the topics where you and I differ. And I kind of like to ask the audience, leave in the chat, what kind of videos do you prefer? A number of the people I've talked to recently prefer what solds. I know that the algorithm and the numbers, if you look into it, say that the picking videos, if you look at people that have picking channels and flipping channels, their picking channels do much better.
Yes.
I myself prefer the what sold videos as far as watching them.
Editing. So I don't mind watching them. They're still not. I still don't like them as much, but editing them, it's brutal. I mean, it's just, and recording it is not fun at all. And even with the schedule that me and Sonia came up with, it's not as taxing on us. Like we have a good time that a time set to do it. So it's a free time. We're not stressed for time or anything like that. We have time to do it. It's just I don't even know. I become irritable and I just want to be done. I'll be like, how many are left? We still got 7. Like, oh my God, can I just go upstairs and you finish it? I don't want to record those 7.
Yeah.
We get through it. And so that's a little bit.
So if you want to see Jimmy grumpy, go watch Old School Resale channel. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on that channel. But and also I want to know what people prefer. Do you like what sold videos, or do you like picking videos? And I guess it depends, all of that depends on the person and the personality and all of that. Some people's, I don't dislike picking videos, but I prefer. what solds. If you so it might be the person that's doing them that I like their picking videos better. Some
Right.
people don't have two channels, or they don't have, they're just mixing everything all together. But so
I
let
will
us know
say
in the comments down below. Are
early
you
on I liked what solds. Early on I watched a lot of what solds and I liked what solds. And it's what's changed for me is it's moved to watching I watch more of the editing and what they're doing with the camera work and when I'm watching a picker video, I'm listening to the interactions and
yeah,
some of the stuff that they're doing to make that more entertaining. I'm not watching so much for what they're picking or what they sold anymore.
yeah,
So that probably has a lot to do with it.
yeah, because most of us pickers, or at least kind of the circle that we run in, uh, everybody picks about the same thing, and they're looking
Yeah.
for the same sort of stuff. And it is that interaction with folks. I like the what sold part because it kind of shows you exactly what is really selling right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
If it's something, if a lot of seasonal stuff is selling, if it's something, quirky, maybe there's some special event or a
Yep.
movie or something that comes out that has to do with something.
Oh yeah.
You get you kind of see that actual what's selling right now.
Yeah. I made two big changes to my channel. I did.
Yeah.
So the first big change I made is I went in there and I removed all the what sold videos from my channel. All my old
Okay.
first year and a half of videos that
Okay.
were what solds, I just removed them from the channel. The thought process behind that is if someone just recently subbed to my channel,
Yeah.
from they watched one video, they subbed to my channel, and then all of a sudden they start getting recommended what I consider to be not the best videos on
Okay.
what solds. Just I was new, the quality wasn't great. They get recommended one of my bad, not so great what sold videos. They
Yeah.
click on that thinking they're going to see me picking, and they see me showing what I sold. They might
Okay.
unsub from me
Now,
because
this is a question because I don't know. I don't do a lot, with YouTube. I have one channel and stuff. And I understand that process of not wanting them to see one of those videos that were bad, but could you have transferred those over now that your new resale channel is new that shows your what solds?
I mean,
Can you,
I
or would you just have to re-upload them?
I would have to probably. I think I would have to re-upload them. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I honestly didn't look into it. I don't know if that's a possibility. But regardless, I don't. I don't. They're gone, and they
Yeah.
weren't getting a lot of views anymore. There was a couple that were doing decent, but nothing like my top 100 picker or my top 20 picker videos are
Uh-huh.
doing way better than any
Yeah.
was sold video. And
So what was it? Okay. Was it just looking at your recent views and stuff like that? What, because it's a big change to change your name of your
yep.
channel. Did you like, what was the thing this weekend? You just had enough
No,
of those old
I actually,
videos, or
I actually have a couple other channels that I'm just learned about. Just it's
uh-huh.
crazy. I actually met both of these YouTubers in person. That
Okay.
kind of had me doing a little further look into what's going on with my channel because of their early success.
Okay.
I've recently I met Jimmy McThrifty. He came to my yard sale. And so we subscribed to each other's channels.
That was, you were still in Denver
I
then,
was still in
right?
Colorado for that one. And
Okay.
that's the one that got me thinking what's going on.
Okay.
And I'm happy for them. It's great. It's just it really makes me like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and just put out videos and not try to figure out what's going wrong. Because so at that time I had over 300 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was right at about the 4-year mark, almost at the anniversary of my 4 years of putting out videos. And
Yeah.
at that time, I was just over 4,000 subscribers,
Okay.
like barely over 4,000 subscribers. I meet Jimmy McThrifty, whose channel is currently still doing really well.
Uh-huh.
He he started off doing like me, but he switched to picking videos really quick. He's already over 1,000 subs. His videos get more views than mine.
Yeah.
And he's just got this really crazy early on success.
And a really cool name. Jimmy McThrifty is like
stole a name from me. No, and so Thrifty's in his name. So maybe I should have put more thought. Maybe I should have used Thrift in my name, because just this last weekend I went to a yard sale or a barn sale, and I'm at the barn sale, and this younger lady asked me, "Oh, do you have a YouTube channel?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "Old School Flips." She said, "Oh, we got one too, me and my mom." So shout out to it's Victoria, I believe, and I'm not sure her mom's name. I've only watched one video.
Okay.
They are mother and daughter thrift. Is that right? Is that what I told you? Mother and daughter thrift?
Mother and daughter thrift. I believe that is correct.
So again, a good name. They got thrift in there. And they're only doing picking videos also. They're not just doing thrifting though. Like, it's mostly yard sale stuff that they're doing.
Okay.
But they'll do other stuff. Like, they did one where they went to an airport luggage auction. That's the one they just most recently put out. Again though, when I subscribed to their channel, they had 23 videos.
Okay.
Here I am at this point now with well over 300 videos. And I'm sitting at 4,500 subs.
Yeah.
They have 23 videos out, and they're already over 1,000 subs, and their videos are getting more views than mine.
Okay.
So I know now that me doing what sold right off the bat and doing a lot of that was a big part of the problem. What I was doing wrong.
It's what built your channel, though. Right in the beginning, I mean, where you got to.
I don't think so.
In the beginning, so once you started putting out Picker,
no, I think what gave me that initial was all the lives and the work I did in the community.
Okay,
that got my channel some minor success in the beginning. It took me forever to get to 1,000 subs. It took me over a year to get to 1,000 subs. So I think my work I did a live show, and I was in live shows and talking with people a lot, building, I think that's what was my early on work that built my channel. I don't think my What Solds did a great job of building my channel. I know it didn't. But whatever, I don't think What Solds are the best way to start off and build a channel. I don't think that. I think there's a place for them. They're okay, but to see these picker channels just take off, and then not just that. There's channels that there was a time where I was right there with Froggy Flips. Me and him had the same amount of subs. And Cat the Nurse Flipper. There was and Casey or Carrie American Arbitrage, like all those. I was right there with all of them, and they all just took off. And I'm still just, slowly
chugging along,
putting along.
Well, here you go, Jimmy. This will make you feel better. I have 311 subs.
Yeah, but you don't put out content.
Well, I do.
You don't have 300 some videos.
I don't.
You don't have 3 videos.
I got more than 3, but not a whole lot.
Well,
I'm working on that.
Your lives.
I'm working on that with my
lives is another one that makes you have to do the work in the community to get your live successful.
Doing that with my Ken versus 10 show that we'll talk a little bit about after a bit. Jimmy's
been made. It's done. I don't care. Even if my channel flops at this point, I don't even care anymore.
Jimmy is fired up about YouTube and his channel, and he changed his name OSF Picker. So go look for that. Now I got a question again, because I don't know if somebody was they were already subscribed to Old School Flips.
Yeah.
That when you change your name, it doesn't affect that. Those subscribers still stay there. And
they stay subscribed. They'll still get notifications. They'll still
they'll
still see it in their feed. I couldn't use Old School Picker because there was already an Old School Picker. And I'm very emotionally attached to the Old School Flips name, my logo, everything about. I don't want to get rid of that brand.
Well, no, because you got the coolest hat in the business, Jimmy. right there
I
that
mean, I
you're wearing.
love my logo and
See,
yeah.
even old screen flips back here.
So when you go to
Sporting
my
it.
channel, it'll say OSF Picker, and that's the name of the channel, and it's
Yeah.
at OSF Picker now. But when you get to my channel, it's still Old School Flips is the banner. And then I
Okay.
just put, and I got Yard Sale Picker right there. I'm just hoping
Okay.
that when someone sees Picker in the name, maybe they'll be like, okay, this guy's a picker, not just a flipper. He's not just flipping stuff. He's showing what he's picking. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Well, what I want to know more about though is this barn sale. What's up with this barn sale that I knew nothing about?
Oh, this barn sale that you knew. So what drew me, and man, mistakes were made at this barn sale by me. No, but
Okay.
I didn't know it was a YouTuber. It turned out to be a YouTuber.
Okay.
I've since talked to her a little bit. Hopefully in the future I'm going to do some collaboration with them.
Uh-huh.
But they want to get through the yard sale season, and I completely understand that. Go check them out though. By the way, Mother and Daughter Thrift, really good channel.
Yeah, I think it's just mother-daughter thrift.
Mother-daughter thrift. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll link it down below. So I saw the sale on the maps and on Facebook, and there was a ton of video games there.
Okay.
But I could see on each console like a sticker with the price, and I saw eBay priced close to eBay, if not at eBay. So, but then I saw a barn and a second garage just full of all kinds of old stuff. And it was like not organized a lot. Like everything was just everywhere. So it was like a picker kind of, especially the one garage, her dad's garage. She'll know what I'm talking about. Her dad's garage was just kind of like just stuff stacked everywhere. It was just everywhere. So I was like, man, we got to go. And so the plan was I was going to check out the video games, and Sonia was going to start and pick the barns while I'm seeing if there's anything to do on the video games. But it was a great sale. We got a lot of good stuff out of those, and the prices they were giving stuff away. And they're flippers, they flip stuff, but for some reason the mom and the dad were just kind of trying to clear out their areas.
Okay.
Years and years worth of stuff. I mean, decades worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is, because we didn't know which building was which, went to the barn first. There were no video games in there, but there was really good stuff in there. So I just naturally start picking, right?
Yes.
Then we went to the dad's garage, no video games in there, but naturally start picking because there's good stuff. So by the time I get to the video game garage, one guy's buying all the video games. And
okay.
I will say he paid a decent amount, but he was getting a good deal.
Yeah.
Like he still probably spent $280, $300, but there was good stuff in there that would have made it worthwhile. So I should have went and looked at the games and seen if I could score some of them.
Yeah.
I did buy a big box of probably 30 wrestlers for $5 from her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that is a good price.
And I'm going to give her, when I make that video, she'll get a shout out in there. She was Victoria is the daughter's name, and she's really nice. She was really excited to talk to another YouTuber, but she was also working on a video game negotiation. So I kind of gave her space because she was trying to work on that deal. I don't know why you didn't know about it. It was everywhere. I think it's because you were deflecting me, is what it was.
I was.
I think it's because you sent me a rye. Is that the way you say that?
That would be no. Now here we had. Okay.
Wait. What happened was
Jimmy? What? Yeah. What happened? Jimmy and I, we had a tiff this week. Is that we had not really a tiff, but Jimmy accused me of sending him on. Giving him the old switcheroo.
He did give me. I'm not accusing. He did give me the switcheroo.
And sending him on a wild goose chase, if you will, of sales.
Yeah.
So do you want me to give the particulars, or do you?
And we want to tell both sides.
Okay. Well, why don't you start
to be involved?
You start, and then I'll tell the truth.
All right. So. I don't know. Thursday I'm texting you.
Yeah, Thursday. You had asked me
This
if I
was
had went out.
Friday. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Thursday, I say, "Hey, buddy. Hey, good pal. You got any
Oh,
plans to go to yard sales tomorrow?
here we go.
My good buddy." And oh, I don't know. I got a lot of work to do around the garage and getting it ready for fourth quarter, and I gotta run some wire, and I gotta and I gotta sleep in, and so
Oh, I got to sleep.
and so I was like,
All
well,
of a sudden, I sound like Sling Blade on your text.
I
Yeah, I
gotta
got to
get
work
some
in here.
tater. Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. So then I get a text saying, what are you doing tomorrow? Are there any good sales out there that you've seen, that you've found? And I go, matter of fact, there's a great one in your town. There's
Yes.
14 of the best yard sales you'll ever find in your town where you live.
Yes.
And I said, and you didn't respond to that. There was no response to that whatsoever.
Okay.
All I get back is a clickbait list of 42 sales in a totally different town. Like he didn't respond to me saying there's 14 great sales in his town. It's literally just a picture of 42 addresses in a city that's 45 minutes away from where he lives. And it says something along the lines of, I don't want to catch you on my turf. Here's a sale you can go to.
This is a great story, folks. I'm enjoying this as much as you are.
So, I get the clickbait gets me. I'm like, all right, 42 sales is probably going to be better than 14 sales. So I'll go to the other town. Now, it did work out because the barn was on the way to the 42 sales. So I did go to the barn before there. So at the end of the day, the barn was amazing. The barn sale we filled the car for $60-something dollars. We filled up our car.
Yes.
So, but he deflected me to the 42 sale community sale instead of going to the 14 sale in his town. And so Friday
okay.
All right, so let's hear how that.
There's elements of the truth in that.
Elements.
Okay.
Technically,
yes,
it's the truth.
Technically, it's the truth. No, okay, but here's how it went from my end. Right. Okay, Thursday you did. Hey, you hitting any sales today? It's like, no, I am working in my garage because I'm converting what used to be my workshop into a dedicated eBay office, and I'm adding new electrical plugs, all of that stuff. So I'm working in there. I want to talk a little bit about that later and how it's been affecting not only my sourcing but my sales and everything. But so Thursday evening, Jimmy says, man, we did pretty good at the sales. And he said, are you going out tomorrow? And I said, I wasn't sure yet. Depends on what I get done in the garage tonight, what I'm going to do. And you said, hey, is Yorkshire Estates a good area? Yorkshire Estates is a community here in my area.
Yep.
And which it was listed on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and they had like a thing of like 15 addresses listed. Okay. Yep. Well, Jill had sent me a thing just earlier to that for the Mansfield area, for an area that they had 42 addresses listed in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Jimmy
how he skipped the fact that he didn't respond at all to my question about Yorkshire, because that's what happened. He did not respond at all.
Well, no, I did respond. I didn't respond right after that because I was busy in the garage. When I got into the house and I saw the thing from Jill, I sent you the picture of that. And I said that I am probably going to hit a few sales when I go out to take my packages in the morning, I'm going to hit the local ones here.
Yep.
But here is this list of ones in Mansfield that if I weren't working, I would be going to that one. Now, so here's what I want to know from the chat, first of all, or from the, in the comments here. If you had 2 lists of sales in 2 areas that are normally good for picking. Now, you can't tell me that you haven't found a lot of good stuff in the Mansfield and the Ontario area, Lexington, all of that whole area.
Yeah, I've done
Am I
good.
correct?
Now, I
Okay. No,
I'm gonna
that
I want to
just
I'm
the
gonna guess
facts,
that
ma'am.
you haven't been to Woodland then.
I have not, but from what I understood, it was supposed to be a good area. Jill was just as baffled as you that the sales turned out not to be good. And that's the whole point of this story. So Jimmy decides to go, which I think in the chat or in the comments, you're probably going to find the overwhelming vote to be, if you had 2 choices, 2 directions to go in 2 areas that were good for picking, you're going to take the one that has 42 listed addresses over the one that has 15 listed addresses.
That's
It's
why
just
I went there. You're
going
right.
to be
That's
better.
why I went there.
And that's why and of course you've got to go to the barn. Now,
I feel like you're getting, this was supposed to be
I
like
can't help it.
He's getting really serious about this.
No. I'm just trying to explain the truth. I'm trying to enlighten the folks as to what really went on. So where our stories are similar. So I go to Yorkshire Estates, okay, yep. which is funny. Side note, so I know about the general area where it was, so it's not too far from my house, but I put in one of the addresses, which was Yorkshire. So I put in, I want to go to Yorkshire Estates in the GPS, or I tell it, Yorkshire Estates. Next thing you know, I'm getting flight information. It's wanting to send me to like Yorkshire, England, or what. I'm like, no, I don't want 19-hour trip. It should be like, less than 10.
Yeah.
So I go to Yorkshire. Jimmy texts me in the morning and he's like, no, I messaged him. I said, hey, did you come to Marion or are you going over to Mansfield? He says, we're headed to Mansfield, but we hit this great barn sale. Did really good. We probably shot for an hour at this barn sale and, got a ton of stuff. And I'm over in the Yorkshire and I did great, man. I was every single sale that I was not every single sale, but everything that I was buying was really good profit, really good items. But it was odd. It wasn't the same sort of stuff that, like the video games and toys and the hats and the vintage shirts that we usually find. It was things that I normally wouldn't, not that I wouldn't pick them up, but I just don't see them. And so, I'm filling the car up with things that are, 8-track tape players and old electronics, and which I like to pick up. And anyway, but I'm finding some of that stuff. And so Jimmy gets over to Mansfield, and not all sales are as advertised. There weren't 42 sales. There were in the end, there was that many.
The last street, we was like, you know what? Literally the biggest waste of time ever.
But the picking was horrible. Right over there.
We went to 35 or 37 sales. We counted them.
Yes.
We had a map. We hit most of them. I think we bought like 7 things.
Yeah. In all of those sales.
And their value is barely worth over $100 on all 7 things combined. It was awful. It was some of the worst picking and
somehow I got blamed for this. I got blamed for the bad picking. Jimmy he worked me over the whole.
You were like, no, don't come here.
He worked me over the whole entire weekend. Like every conversation we had after that was like, oh, what, you wanting to send me to have Chinese food rather than, get the good burger over there? Because that's, absolutely. It was difficult. So then the next day, Jimmy comes. He just can't miss out. He's got to come over. Which
Well,
you said you filled up the car. I want to ask you, how come you keep driving the car
What do you mean?
to yard sales and not your SUV? You could
Oh, we
get
did take
think
that.
how
We took
much storage.
SUV on Friday.
Oh, okay.
We took Sonia. So I don't drive the little yard sale whip. It's a smaller car. I'm not comfortable driving it. So Sonia,
Okay.
and I'm the navigator. Like Sonia, we have this like deal. Like, and it showed, by the way, on Saturday when I drove and Sonia was the navigator. It was just a disaster. Like it doesn't work. Sonia's not a great navigator, and I'm an angry driver, so it just doesn't work. So Saturday we did take the little yard sale whip around, and but on Friday, but Saturday I was giving Sonia a break. Like, you don't have to drive. I'll
Yeah.
drive. Oh, so we ended up going to that Yorkshire where Sonia was like, she was putting it into the maps. She put in Yorkshire, or she did the voice.
Yeah.
Yorkshire Estates in Marion, Ohio, and it's like, sorry, we could not find You Kill Marion, Ohio. They like didn't understand her. So, and it was hilarious, like the way Alexa or whatever, or Kesha or whatever her name said.
Yes.
Sorry, we could not find You Kill Marion. Oh, You Kill in Marion, Ohio. So I had to Yorkshire. So there wasn't a lot going on, and anywhere in this. Ken's the only one that did good. And
I did great. Not only in Yorkshire, I couldn't get home. I had to actually. I went to Yorkshire, and then I had to go to Menards to get insulation for re-insulating one of the walls, or not re-insulating. I'm actually insulating it. It wasn't previously, and I couldn't get home to get started with my work for all of the sales. And well, I did. Wait, was that? No, that was Friday that I went home. Well, Saturday morning when you guys came over to Yorkshire and they had bought a piece of furniture.
I had to apologize to him for giving him a hard time all day because I was
Yeah.
I was asking him to come and get a chair for me.
Hey, buddy, glad you did so well yesterday. You think, you could come and pick up a chair for us in your truck? And so, no, I was happy. It wasn't too far, but that was another thing. So I went and got this piece of furniture for him from the sale, met him there, and we chit-chatted about what was going on. And then on the way home, I couldn't get home for all the yard sales. Well, I had even called Jimmy and said, hey, when you leave that sale, go right on this road and left on
another deflection, folks.
I wasn't going to hit him. Did you go to those sales?
They were terrible.
Okay, well, see, I can't help it that,
then I get to
you don't know how to pick,
look at all
Jimmy.
this vintage starter and red and Indians and Redskin stuff I found. He deflected us into those neighborhoods so he could pick the good sales.
I did even tell you, I gave you addresses. Go here because there's stuff that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, because I've already picked everything I want.
Because I've got all the good stuff. And let me talk about, okay, so I was unintentionally offensive, Jimmy, at a yard sale.
I don't believe that. I think you purposely did it.
Well, no, you tell me. And it sometimes, because when I'm at the sales, we pick and we work the sales different. I'm a social guy, and I get to the sales and I like to goof and talk with the people and stuff. And Jimmy's what would you say, more businessy. He's there. Grumpy. He's looking for his grumpy. Yes, Jimmy's grumpier, and he just wants to get pick and get out. And so I get to this sale. This is the one, Jimmy, that I told you about, where to go, and you got the one NASCAR jacket or whatever. But on the first two tables, the first whole table was all Ohio State stuff.
Yep.
All different kind of flags and figures and stuff. And then the next table, like another 8-foot table, was all Cleveland Browns stuff. Okay. Yep. And so I turn around, I had already said, hi to them and stuff, as two sisters were having a sale. And I said, oh, what'd you guys do? Give up on Ohio sports? And because, the Ohio State stuff, the Cleveland stuff, what'd you do? Give up on Ohio sports? And the lady says, no, our mother recently passed away and we're trying to get rid of her stuff. And she was she was a big fan of and then, if you go from being like to feeling like,
You get for being social, Ken.
So small. Yes, I should be grumpy.
Should just be the grumpy. Put your head down.
I can't be the grumpy picker because there is a grumpy picker, grumpy and happy picker. Met them out in Vegas. Wonderful folks. Love watching their stuff and seeing their picks. But so it was unfortunate. It was unintended. And then I felt bad.
And then you bought all their good starter stuff, and then I talked them down.
And then I did work them down on price.
Their dead mom stuff. And talked them down.
I did make a really, really good deal on some old Washington Redskins stuff, some really cool memorabilia sort of stuff that's got some decent profit. And I'm gonna throw out some self-promotion here. One of the items I found was a Cleveland Indians starter, like a pullover, just
windbreaker type pullover.
Windbreaker, pristine mint. Got the Chief Wahoo hit on the sleeve. Really cool embroidery, and I'm going to be listing that this Tuesday, 4 p.m. Ken versus 10. See, here's the
So anyways, we're no more promoting Ken versus 10 on this show.
Wait a minute. We spent the first 25 minutes talking about your YouTube channel, Jimmy. I can get 5 minutes. I was chuckling to myself there. It has been said that some people enjoy the Reseller Clickbait podcast. The episodes that they enjoy are all of the parts of it except for Ken's talking. I'm not that
more than once, surprisingly.
That viewer shall go remain nameless.
My good buddy Carrie, I believe, has
hashtag American arbitrage. No, those
go ahead and promote your 10 versus 10 because I like your guest that you got.
I changed out I used to do the Ken versus 10 where it was me going against my death pile with 10 items. And I decided I quit that because it was on Thursday mornings and that's when we all go sourcing. Yeah. So when it got to yard sale season, I changed it over. Now I'm on I've been calling it like a listing train. On Tuesdays, you got the Reseller Information Network in the morning. Starts at 9 and they go till whatever time in the afternoon. And then on Angie Resells channel, Angie Resells and Kristen, a rural squirrel, they go from 2 p.m. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time to 4 p.m. And then I'm following up with Ken versus 10 at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I decided to bring on guests and see if I see you falling asleep there. I decided to bring on guests, and not only am I against my death pile and they're against their death pile, we're kind of doing a friendly competition.
I wonder how long this is going to last. If you keep losing, you're too competitive. Like you're just going to quit your own show.
My first guest, Grams and Pops Vintage, they whooped me and they almost beat their death pile. They had five of their 10 items sold. I only had one sold. But this week I've got Dan and Demand.
You have to dip into that pile of Jill's picking.
Yeah, exactly. Get all go in Jill's basement and just pick, and then I'll sell this stuff like crazy. But I'm going up against Dan and Demand.
Yep.
And which is going to be fun because I love Dan and he's just a great personality in himself. But he had told me, he's like, I don't know how exciting because I only usually list clothes and shoes. And but if anybody can make clothes and shoes exciting, it's Dan.
It's Dan.
But that got me thinking, because my death pile is so extensive. I pick and pick and pick, and I don't get a lot of stuff, all of it listed. It's I can hang with just about anybody on whatever sort of, so I figure with my guests, I'll kind of try to hit their niche, unless it's like glassware or, all sports cards or something. I am going to, so this week we'll be listing some clothes and shoes, plus a few hard goods. I talked to Dan over the weekend. We're going to do, a couple of hard goods too, in there. So So
you have a chance.
Check that out.
You gotta.
I have a chance.
He's gonna be like listing toasters because that's all he really got on hard.
I am going to list that Cleveland Indians windbreaker that I found as one of my articles of clothing. So it should be pretty fun. I'm excited to do that. And
root for Dan.
So yeah, you root for Dan, root for me. Just watch the show, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Pretty soon we'll have more subscribers than Jimmy, and we'll be getting more than like
everybody has more subscribers. All you do is put Thrift in your channel name, and you'll kick my butt on subscribers.
So that's I haven't been getting a lot of all this stuff that I've been buying listed because again, I talked earlier about that I'm redoing my garage so that I can have a better workspace, and being out in the garage doesn't get me in here listing stuff.
Right.
I actually took 2 weeks off from sourcing and still filled up the car 3 or 4 times when I wasn't sourcing.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, yeah, I'm keeping it all secret from Jimmy so he doesn't come into my area. I'm like, yeah, go over here and do this.
Go to Woodland. It's a nice neighborhood. It was built in the 20s, but it's a nice neighborhood.
So that's it. It has affected my sales. What I'm banking on is that once I'm finished with this project, just like everybody that gets all the new sheds and stuff, I just happen to not need a shed because I have this humongous garage.
Well, what a great opportunity to document all that. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I know I should be filming all of it and showing what I'm doing. And I'm far enough along. Of course, people aren't going to really be interested that I tore the wall panels off and put electrical lines in. Maybe some people would, but as I get ready to clean it, and put it back together. Anyway, we don't have to keep going on about that, but
well, I mean, when are you going to paint it pink? Is my question.
I might paint it multiple. Maybe I should paint it like the Partridge Family bus.
No, you got to paint it. Your movie just came out, so you got to paint it the colors in your movie that just came out.
Oh, the Barbie movie,
the Barbie and Ken movie. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Ken is in that.
That's what I was saying. You got to paint it pink. I can't believe. Well, who's the actor they got to play you? What's his name? I can't believe they cast him to play you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't.
Notebook. What's his name? I don't know.
I've seen commercials for the Barbie movie, but I haven't.
I can't. I haven't. Anyway, yeah. I sold 2 Barbie things this weekend with that movie coming out. Should people be? If you have Barbie stuff listed, go. Maybe raise the price on it. I don't know because my stuff was on sale. Yeah, but it did sell. It sold over the weekend with the Barbie movie coming out. So
see if somebody wanted to come on the show and list Barbies, I got a ton of Barbie stuff out there. That's just
the movie just came out. Go list it, Ken. What are you doing? The movie Barbie stuff is flying off shelves right now.
I know, and mine's going to be moved from one pile to another.
New in the package Barbie stuff, probably the same kind of stuff that I had that I just sold.
I have some pretty cool vintage Barbie stuff that was it was given to me. It was given to me. Well, Grams and Pops have dibs on it if I decide to sell it as a lot.
Everybody but me has dibs on everything you got.
Well, that was the only thing. Because
I see where this is going. I see where this friendship is going. Go to the Woodlands. I'm not going to the. I'm not. You don't want to come out here to this. Stay off my turf, buddy.
Well, have you sold anything, Jimmy? Let's talk about sales of the week. Did you sell anything good?
Yeah, I did. I sold a fun story here.
Yes.
It's a fun story that I got. We were down in Seville, Ohio for the Seville citywide sale.
Yes.
We played the bingo game down there. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jill was a lot of fun down there. Ken, he's spilling lemonade on himself, getting mad at everybody. But Jill made it a lot of fun. So no, we had a lot of fun down there. And while we were down there, I bought a bobblehead, a Joe Thomas bobblehead who was a famous left tackle for the Cleveland Browns, Hall of Famer, all that stuff.
Yes.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? He will if he isn't.
I'm not sure if he is or not, but he will.
Yeah, he will
most
be.
definitely.
He was one of the best all-time players for the Cleveland Browns ever. Left tackle, and he played a lot of games in the bobblehead. Anyways, so the bobblehead was based on like something about how many games he played or something. So I bought it for $3. I bought it for $3, not really knowing what it was worth. I just always usually buy bobbleheads. Got home, this bobblehead's worth. They're listed for $100. There's like 3 other ones listed for $100. So Sonia listed it. She listed it for $99.99 also. And I got an offer. And here's a little something that me and Ken talk about that we both do. I got an offer at $65, which felt a little low. But I stopped myself. I said, let's look at the comps again. Put it in, looked at the listed, and again, mine was one of 4 listed at $100. But the last one that sold for $65.
Yeah.
So this person is being reasonable. They went and looked at the solds, saw that it actually sold for $65, so they thought, let me offer what it sold for. So I was like, you know what? I'll take it. But the real reason I took it is because the buyer was in Seville, Ohio, where I bought it. I was like, I have to send it back to Seville. Like, what? I have to do that.
That is crazy. Now, had that person been out at yard sales that day, they could have had it for what, $3 you bought it for?
Yeah, and they gave me $65 for it. So yeah, it worked out good for both of us.
That's sweet.
Not really for them, but
that's
so I'll say that might not be my best money-wise sell, but it was my funnest story.
Yeah. That is kooky. And I looked it up. Joe Thomas will go in this year. He was first ballot, class of 2023. Joe Thomas made the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he was like one of those Iron Man guys. He played every single down of every game for 11 years straight.
Yeah. So that's what that bobble had to do with. Bobblehead had to do with something about the
just
amount of games
absolutely incredible. It's sad for a player that's that great of his caliber
to play for team.
Have to play for the Browns. It's like what Barry Sanders playing for the Lions for all those years. It's like I don't know. I don't need to go into that. So anyway, my favorite sale of the week. It's going to kind of segue into another topic, but I had bought it was a cool brand jacket coat like KUHL, which is a brand that I learned from Jimmy.
Say your good pal Jimmy,
my good buddy, my best good friend Jimmy, old school or OSF picker.
Picker
is when we were in Cincinnati at the Reseller Rally. That's when we first met, and we went out to the sales together. And Jimmy he's like, hey, check out this jacket, and he showed me the logo and he showed me the name. He said, these usually sell really good. They sell, pretty quick. And my best good friend actually gave me that jacket. He bought it, gave me that jacket, not the one I just sold.
No, the first one. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, the first one. And I had sold that, a long time ago. Of course, the rally was a couple years ago. But here recently at a sale, I picked up another cool jacket. Right. And it sold well, actually, it'll ship out tomorrow, which is today when you're listening to this. It sold for $70. Nice. I paid $5 for it at a sale. I saw looking, through clothes on the rack, and I see this logo. That has mountains on it, right?
Yep. And it's colorful.
And it's colorful
blue sky. I mean,
it's it's a nice looking mountainous logo.
Yeah.
And I got back to thinking, when Jimmy and I were recently on the game show,
kicked my butt in the game show.
When Jimmy technically won on the Reseller Gameshow Showdown on I'd Flip That's channel, was Joe and Nicole. We were on there, and Jimmy won. I admit that Jimmy won.
champion, y'all.
Technically.
I kicked your butt. I went back and watched it. I even beat you in Jeopardy, bud.
And so one of the questions in the Jeopardy was about an item of clothing or a brand of clothing whose logo is a mountain, a mountain range.
With a colorful mountain range.
Something along those lines. So immediately I'm thinking, oh, what did I learn from my best good friend Jimmy? Cool brand. The best way to fit on the sleeve is usually this mountain logo. Boom, boom. I all of a sudden I'm like, I'm blowing in my kazoo. I'm raising my hand and I'm like, cool. And Joe's like, no, that's incorrect. Now, Jimmy, he takes like, I don't know, the next 5 or 6 minutes to think about it. And he's like, I don't know. And Sonia's over there on the side yelling out answers. And she's like, I can hear her in the background go, it's Patagonia. It's Patagonia. And Jimmy's like, I don't know, Patagonia. And then it's like, ding. Jimmy's like winning the points. And so
he's just mad. Listen, not only did I kick his butt in Jeopardy, the only thing that kept him in that game, the whole game show in general, like he's been kind of going, well, it doesn't really matter because all the points are at the end. And you know what kept him in that game was this. Let me turn around this card. It's a 2. Is it going to be higher or lower? Higher. Then it's a queen. Is it going to be higher or lower? Lower. Then it's a 3. Is it going to be higher or lower? Like that's where he got
card sharks is one of my favorites. Now, but you have to say, Jimmy,
like no skill whatsoever. You just had to guess that the next card would be lower than a queen.
What I will say though, Jimmy, you're known in the community, right? Jimmy Old School Flips
don't get me started. Don't get me started because I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Is known as a toy guy.
Yep. That's why I didn't get the first one right.
Did I or did I not?
Any toy guy you can ask him, is a Game Boy a toy? It is not a toy.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not even going to answer that because a Game Boy is not a toy. The category was toys.
Jimmy was in protest from the first.
Don't get me started. Do you agree? Is a Game Boy a toy?
I can't tell you though that it was fun, but I did end up.
Oh,
and Jimmy lost his already.
I have it upstairs. They gave you a loser one? Does it say loser? What?
Reseller Showdown champion bag.
It better have my name on the other side.
Pretty cool.
Almost. Yeah. It should say not even close.
How cool is that Joe and Nicole sent me a bag and it says almost a Reseller Game Show champion. So Jimmy has the pure champion. I bow to your victory, my friend. You did beat me in the part that matters at the end, which is, guessing the price of the items, the sale price, but a really nice thank you note and sticker for the I'd flip that
thank you note. Just
Reseller. You didn't, you probably didn't because they talked about how
thank me.
What an amazing contestant that I was.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun having you. And they, they don't want to lie and say that it was fun to have you, Jimmy.
They called me a cheater. They
were like, well, technically we had to award a prize, and so that's why they gave you that one.
That's all right.
And
that's why I say I don't know how long you're going to be able to handle Ken versus 10 versus your opponent, because you're going to lose every week and you're just going to rage. You're going to have to every week say they technically won.
No, I got Grams and Pops whooped me. They whooped me bad.
Good job. Good job, Grams and Pops.
So that was my sale, the cool jacket, the logo, and that made me think about, how I lost that question and those valuable points that I needed.
This thumbnail is going to be so fun. It's literally going to be us just boxing. Like we're going to be Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed just boxing.
So, what else you got? Hey, look, I see you changed up your background some.
Yeah.
You changing changing your shelves and your
Yeah,
toys
because
there?
Sonia is working. I'll turn the camera for those watching.
Okay.
Sonia is working on her scary shelf over there.
Ooh,
I'm just
scary.
kind of the lamp in the way, but yeah, she's got. So this is literally what I'm staring at while I'm recording right now. Is those scary, and then we got this
See,
wall going over here. We're
that's
getting the
cool.
office feeling a little more comfortable.
Okay. Now, if you guys are working back, you kind of working across from one another, right? Her desk is going to be directly on the other side of yours, facing you.
Yep.
Wouldn't it seem logical then for her to have her scary shelf behind you so that she could look at it when she's working and enjoy it, and then all of your toys behind her?
Is that how most, like, if you're in a, I don't think that's how it works. Like, you just have to put this. I mean,
well, I'm just saying, Jimmy, you
are you going to put all that stuff that's
box
behind you in front of you? Are you going to turn your desk around and put all your crazy mascots and the pumpkin you stole from me and all your
oh yeah, the pumpkin. Yeah, but remember, your pumpkin is bigger than mine, Jimmy. It's I was thinking I was going to list some Halloween stuff this week. As I'm working out there and organizing things, I'm finding these Halloween items. Like, I'm get these listed right now.
I do recommend ending any Halloween listings that you have, ending them and either selling similar or relisting them just to kind of refresh them.
Yes,
I'm doing that right now too. Anything that's Halloween, just to get it refreshed and kind of a new listing.
That's one I want to expand on that tip, because that's an excellent tip for sure. Anytime that I list, because I try to group things up when I list, like I'm going to do all hats or all plush or all whatever. I do try to do that. I will do that with this Halloween stuff, since there's like a half dozen things back there and I've got some more out there to list. Anytime I'm listing in a group, I will go ahead and end all those similar items.
I've noticed that you do that.
Relist them.
I'll be like,
and
Ken listed 75 things today. No, he just ended and relisted stuff.
Well, that's one of the things I've been doing since I haven't had time to list from working in the garage. I know that sounds like a broken record, but that's what I'm doing with my life right now, because I think in the end it's going to better my reselling business. Where I'm lacking in my listing and stuff, and where the sales are not where they should be right now because I'm not listing, I think it's going to be a benefit in the end when I have a bigger, more comfortable, organized, with a good flow of incoming and outgoing. And so I'm banking on the fact that when this project is completed and I can really start to get the listings done. Right. But I do want to have activity in my store. When I can't list, I go in, and I've had some really old listings that have been around 6 months plus.
Yeah.
And so I've been going in, like, I'll take a whole month, like let's say last November. I took everything from November and I ended it, and I did a sell similar.
That's not something. Yeah, I get it. That's not something I ever do anymore, but I get it.
Yeah, I do that to get the activity in my store, to refresh them. And some of the items that I've sold here over the last, say, week or so are items that had been sitting in my store since November, since December, since whatever, that just they weren't getting any views, no peaks, no love at all. And now sell similar, they're up there new and fresh, and I'm making sales on some of those things, or I'm sending out offers on items that are that didn't get a peak before, and now they have watchers since I have relisted them. And expand on another tip, Jimmy, that you had said there, as far as I forget what it was. Hold on. What did you say? Wait. When I said I ended, and yeah, I've also been doing the same thing that you did with the Joe Thomas bobblehead. Was when I am sending out offers now to watchers, especially on those items that have been in my store for a while, and I did the sell similar.
Comps.
I am going back and I am making sure, is this pricing still valid? When I'm sending out an offer, I am sending it out now at the current, like, What so now it might have been listed for $29 and now the current prices are only 18 bucks. And
Right.
so I don't feel bad about that. And I've also been reviewing offers that I get that appear to be low balls,
Well,
just like your Joe Thomas, and making sure I've done that somewhat, but now I've been a little more conscious about it.
right.
Maybe people are out there thinking, well, duh, you should always do that.
Well,
But I didn't. And if you're not doing it, I
another
suggest
way to do that
trying
is
it.
what I do, what I've now moved to, which up until now has helped a lot. My sales are just completely dead for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Is after 30 days, I put it on 10% off.
Uh-huh.
And then after 60 days, it goes on 20% off. And then after 90 days, it goes on 35% off. So essentially, I'm, stepping down to get towards hopefully what it is actually selling for, or the actual comp. If I have it, if it's priced, if it was priced too high, I'm working my way down to the price
Yeah.
that it should be.
Yes.
So that's kind of my way of doing that. And you find out a lot about your pricing that way, because we all know if it's something that's desirable and you have it priced right, it's going to sell within the first 30 days.
Yeah.
So,
yes. So,
anyway.
All right, Jimmy, I think we've argued enough in this
Yep.
episode. Your Santa beard's looking good. Santa beard update. How's it? Is it still pretty itchy, or you're getting
Not too
past
bad.
it?
It hasn't been it bothers me when it's humid and I'm hot out, but
Yeah.
it's not too bad. No.
Yep. I think it's coming in good. So
Yeah, I'm surprised at how much it's grown. I'm actually pretty
you
happy with it.
you only got like 5 more months.
That's it.
Yeah.
Terrible. I'll make it though.
So, all right, we're gonna wrap this one up, and we'll catch you next time on the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.